Welcome to the Daily WIP, the show where we discover everyone is a media company. Today we go to SMPTE in Sydney. Today's been a long day. It started for you and you. It started what, 3:15?
Yeah, I was up at 3:15.
3:15, driving down the coast above Wellington, down, picking up Nathan and then getting to the airport. I walked there, had horrendous issues with the camera, the focus. It took all the way getting to Sydney, going to the SMPTE event, and then going to see Panasonic.
The Source,
going to their booth
and
to get them
knew how to fix it.
We flew in. We arrived, it was Uber drama. Do we ever not have Uber drama?
I mean, I thought we had Nathan to kind of straighten those things out. He drove off.
This is the guy who makes stuff happen, and then we somehow both get keys to the house.
No.
And you're in charge of getting a car.
We're under control as per usual, Rollo. The Uber driver doesn't seem to be moving.
We're in. Arrived at the house, and again, this is where it went wrong.
Here we are.
Arrived at the house, lovely spot, apartment up on the 15th floor in the middle of Sydney.
We'll show you the view, maybe on today's episode.
Here's the view. Yeah, we do. Here's the view.
Here's the view.
And then it was the abomination of trying to go and so time zone, right? 2 hours difference, which is not enough of a difference. You said it. You're like, if I want a time difference, I want to go to England, and I want a 12-hour difference so I can get into it. 2-hour difference. 2-hour difference. We turn up, and in New Zealand it's lunchtime. Over here, it's not even brunch. We've put all our stuff in the apartment, but it's not available for another hour. So we're going to get some energy, get some food. We've got meetings all afternoon at SMPTE, and we start wandering.
Sunshine.
Down to the harbour. Just wandering.
Angrily.
So angry.
I wouldn't blame the 2-hour difference.
So then we got back to the apartment. We sorted ourselves out. We got suited. We got booted. We did a whole lot of business email. Then we zanged back down to the harbour and got down to SMPTE. We're coming up to the convention centre where we're going to go and see all the guys. Down to go and hang out with a bunch of customers. It was great just seeing people on the floor.
So what is the company name, please?
Wipster.
Webster.
W-I.
The spelling's here on the t-shirt.
You know, we'd organised to meet a few, and then just others just kept turning up out of the woodwork.
I think there's a lot of people that put out fairly simple, I'm not going to call it bad content, but simple content that they then put out almost like an ad style, which doesn't work, and then in vice versa, you see people putting out really polished content to an audience that is not really after that. They're just after information, or they're just after, basically seeing what they're doing throughout their day, much like the Wipster vlog.
So the conversation I'm having with our clients is around different levels of content. So there's obviously the high-level content that we're creating for them, but then we're looking at mid-level and low-level content. The mid-level content is stuff that they might shoot themselves and then we edit for them, so that it's a little bit more immediate, but it still has a high-level feel. And then the low-level content is the more accessible stuff where they can be doing more regularly, and that's content that they're shooting and finishing themselves. Now, we're always pushing the idea of quality, but with content that's more immediate, that has a shorter shelf life, then there's, the conversation we talk about is having a certain allowance to get away with, lower level of quality, because it's immediate. The value of the content is in its immediacy, because it's really relevant, it's really now.
We're lucky today to have Griffin join us. He's flown out from New York City.
Some people like to put big gimbals on their camera, shoulder rigs, all that. I prefer to keep it pretty lightweight. But I actually want to start with these two things, the the GH5 and the Panasonic 12 to 35 millimeter. This is my favorite documentary lens.
In the world of distribution, say,
Yeah.
right? Like video is just on every social platform now.
Yeah.
What are you seeing as like the big shifts in video creation where you've been involved, right? You know, you've worked in news sort of stuff, you've worked in short films, you've worked in business. What's the big shifts you see?
Well, I mean, the good thing for me is that there's a huge demand for video. Every company needs it now. So, like, as a filmmaker, I think anyone who wants work in this industry, you just have to kind of broaden your definition of what filmmaking is, because everyone's hiring for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's great for me. I think the challenge is that anyone can shoot great video now. The tools are available. You know, your phone can shoot 4K, and lots of companies need it. The challenge is just, if we're creating this much content, is the content even useful? I think sometimes people are just creating content because they're supposed to have content.
Yeah.
And then they're making content that they wouldn't even watch.
Right. So are they not thinking strongly enough about what the purpose is?
Right. I think
they go, we need to have content, so that's content. But you're like, why that content? They go,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I think when you're pitching an idea to your boss, you should be asking yourself and your coworkers, will you watch this thing? Would you click on it? And if it feels too self-serving, I mean, I think you just have to think about what is the usefulness to the audience, and are you actually helping? Are you being a useful member of the social community?
And then you guys went down to see a customer. Who'd you go see?
World Nomads. World Nomads.
World Nomads.
Global travel insurance company that is based here in Sydney. They're the ultimate kind of content. You know, we talk about the media angle of every company being a media company, and they were kind of creating content before it was content marketing.
And then the show was coming to an end. Had some drinks with a few different groups, which was great. Great to just meet a few more people, you know, around all sorts of things, around radio and around TV and all sorts of other things.
But more traditional media.
Yeah, which is great. And then off out to have dinner, and then back to the pad to do a whole lot more stuff. Thanks for watching episode 8. What is it?
Do you want to mention that? Do you want to mention that drone footage?
At the start of this episode, you will have seen the drone footage from Alex. You will have seen his name. But wow, thanks, Alex. I mean, dude, that is some hot footage.
Yeah.
It just makes Australia look awesome.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sydney from above is killing it, and the man knows how to drive a drone.
He knows how to drive a drone.
It's epic.
All right, that's the end of episode. What are we on? That's the end of episode 18. We'll see you tomorrow.